Quer aumentar as suas vendas? Experimente o Bitrix 24, o melhor CRM online gratuito usado por mais de 5 milhões de empresas. Bitrix 24 pode ajudá-lo a gerenciar clientes existentes, gerar novos leads, executar campanhas de marketing, emitir faturas e aceitar pagamentos online. Impressione seus clientes com suporte incrível em tempo real via e-mail, telefone, bate-papo ao vivo, messengers ou redes sociais. Cresça mais rápido aproveitando as ferramentas integradas de automação de vendas e marketing disponíveis no Bitrix 24, que funcionam mesmo quando você dorme. E com o novo aplicativo móvel Bitrix 24, você pode trabalhar de qualquer lugar. Bitrix 24. Free, Unlimited, Online.
dia. Vamos lançar essas cobranças ainda hoje?
Bom dia, chefe. Deixa comigo.
É preciso gerar as notas fiscais, viu?
Tá, ontem um cliente perguntou se tinha como pagar pelo cartão.
O problema é que eles nunca querem pagar as taxas da...
Olha só comigo aqui, eu desenvolvi uma ferramenta inovadora no mercado de day trade, uma ferramenta que vai revolucionar
It's really a lot of people who are in the Zoom. And the people who are outside too. It's been hard to bring them here. I think it's the drinks. John, join us. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to have a drink and bring the drink or food, no problem, while the conversations are happening. Because otherwise you will miss things, with the presentation. And there are many interesting things to be said and shared with you tonight. Lisa, you can come in. Can you bring more people with you? Or?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yes, ask the sound to go to the. Yeah, please sit, John. Can you sit here, please, or here? You choose. Or there, yeah. Because then you can always go down. Goes. So who can we start with? I think we can start with you, Victor. Who are you?
My name is Vitor. I don't speak English.
Ah.
I don't speak French, and I speak a little Portuguese. Okay, I'm a safety engineer, and I am forest engineer too. I work in a company with make doors, wood doors in Santa Catarina State.
Doors, what's the name of the company?
Simple.
Interesting. I have refurbishing my apartment. I should have thought this.
Okay.
What about you?
Where's the company? Simple. Okay. I have 2 or 4 volunteers. Oh yeah. One of my sister is studying in festivals. She's nice there.
So you were 40 years old. See, as I told you, you're going to realize many
The graduation of forest engineering, and then I did a specialization in neuroscience and behavior. I am one of the owners of the Taitiba Farm Hotel. It is in Tibagi, Paraná. With an exclusive access to the Kingdom Guatemala.
I've been dreaming of having an immersion. Yes, I thought when I met him, I said, why don't we do our next English immersion in Guatemala?
Yes, please.
At your place. Yes.
I have the folders here. I don't know if I distribute.
No, you can show after your presentation, when you do your presentation, because he's one of the speakers.
Nice.
Okay.
Then you have to say what hotels have to do with neuroscience.
Everything.
That's
Psychology.
Neuroscience.
Neuroscience is related to you, and you are related to everything you do. So it's useful everywhere and every time.
Okay, the people in the corner, who are you? My team. Who goes first?
So hi everyone, I'm John, one of the English language instructors here at George.
So, my name is George. I'm also an English language instructor and I'm presenting a presentation today.
And I'm Ida. I'm also a teacher here, and I'm also presenting later.
I think you're up.
Yes,
I'm checking who you're looking at. So.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm Lucia, and I work as a coach. And I know Liane from the Think Environment work when she was a pioneer when we brought that to Brazil to teach coaches and facilitators. So I basically teach new coaches. And I'm having new clients now who are coming with trauma in learning English.
Yes, amazing. Thinking environment is an amazing methodology. It's amazing. You can learn more talking to others.
So my name is Raymond Westwater. I thought I'd entertain you with my gringo name. I am retired, but I never worked harder in my life. I am starting two businesses. A business that does website acceleration. So your websites, you give it to me, I serve it, and I serve it twice as fast. So this means more money for you, more clients, higher ranking in Google. I also am starting a clinic, a health clinic, because my family all, after I beat them and supported them, they all graduated in the health sciences. So I'm now creating a clinic so they can have jobs and they can pay for my retirement. So my children, 3 here, 6 grandchildren, are through marriage. And my ex-wife is living in Texas and has become an American citizen. And I am retired here. So that's the gist of my story.
Hi, my name is Ariadne. I am from Francisco Beltrão and I have been living in Curitiba since 2018. I study here on the road at BB Center. I am John's student for 3 years. For the last 3 years, yeah. Last 3 years. I am geographer and I work at ISAI. It's Instituto Superior de Administração e Economia. I teach in a master's degree called Governance and Sustainability. So I am a research and my research area is social environmental risks. And I love to study and to teach.
Talking about your book?
Yes, I am organizing a book, and we received invited from Springer editor. Yes, we are very happy. Congratulations. Thank you.
So my name is Orlando. I am a civil engineer. I work in a company that do projects for water supply and street maintenance. I am implementing a new way of project. So the name is BIM. It's a new technology that is the name of BIM is Building Information Model. So you don't only model the structure, but you build with information. So at the same time, when you build you build a 3D model, you can put prices, you can put when you need to change, you can build at the same time sensors in places, so you can control, so you can do since the planning until the operation and maintenance in the end of the project itself. I do this in my company in City. It's new, not a really new company, but it's like a medium size. City. And we are building this new modality. I'm doing my master degree as well in this area. This master degree is specialization from Barcelona, so it's bringing new technologies here to Brazil. And this area is really new, and the laws and the arbitraries of this technology is going out now. The ISOs, the AT&T, so it's really new technology.
Thank you. Excuse me, can I ask something?
Yes, you can, but not next door. We're Americans, because that's the idea. Now it's a very short presentation, and then after you have all the time to talk to everybody, and it's really, it is to tease you, really. Oh, I want to talk to this guy. Yes, yes, that's the idea, you know. Hello, Valkyria, come on in. Hello. You have a chair, you have a chair there, you can choose to put there. Okay. Okay? So there comes Matheus.
Hello, my name is Matheus. I live in Curitiba for 7 years actually, and I work at KPMG and I am an auditor working with financial statements. Is that?
Hello everybody, my name is Alisson. Sorry, I don't speak English. Vou falar português aqui. Estou estudando, então não me sinto seguro ainda para deslanchar, mas moro aqui em Curitiba, sou empresário, tenho uma startup de eficiência energética. Nós desenvolvemos uma tecnologia, uma inteligência artificial para motores elétricos, onde eu reduzo o consumo do maior ofensor de consumo de energia do planeta, que é o ar-condicionado. Atuo já há 7 anos, tendo Santander, Itaú, algumas empresas. Tenho mais um outro projeto que estou lançando agora de negócios, uma health tech, uma startup com cartão de saúde para quem perdeu o plano de saúde nesses últimos anos. A gente torna mais acessível o serviço de saúde. E eu tenho um projeto social onde está a minha grande paixão, que é levar o ensino tecnológico e de empreendedorismo para crianças carentes do colégio municipal, né, do contraturno, onde a gente traz toda uma metodologia de empreendedorismo para que eles não caiam no mundo das drogas. Então a gente atua em 2 frentes, que é na prevenção e na reinserção desse usuário que um dia foi e ele tem essa chance de estudar empreendedorismo, poder montar o seu negócio e voltar para o mercado de trabalho. É uma alegria estar aqui, pena que eu não falo inglês, mas eu entendo bastante.
Not yet, you are coming. It's the first day you come here. You'll see. You'll be quite fast. Valkyria, come on. Yes, last but not least.
In English and Portuguese. Okay, my name is Valkyria. I've been a teacher for quite some time already. I've got a degree in journalism and one in fine arts. But most of my working time I've spent in class with my beloved students, teaching and learning from them all the time. In relation to on the road, I think this is a very unique school in terms of environment, in terms of proposals. I think we are not likely to see somewhere else what we see here. That does not diminish any other school. It is just the point that here the environment is really different. Liani and the staff tend to be quite enthusiastic about innovations and about opportunities. From time to time we have the chance to meet each other in events other than the classroom. So welcome everybody on the school behalf, and thanks for your being here. That's it.
It's a pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure to see everybody here. Gustavo is escaping, but I will ask him to introduce himself quite briefly.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Gustavo. Everyone calls me Borges. Probably not here. But I already introduced myself to some of you guys back there. But I am an English and Chinese teacher and translator. And yes, Chinese. And back in 2019, I used to work here as an administrative helper and English teacher and Portuguese teacher too. I have done a lot of stuff. But yeah, and they love this place so much. That's why I keep coming back every once in a while.
You forgot the
Saranghae. Yeah, it's
the Koreans.
yeah, it's because in August I'm going to Korea to finish my university. So yeah, we were talking about this back there, and yeah, Saranghae.
Yeah, we probably are going to see him around here in City Roads because he's always around.
And I'll teach Portuguese, English, Chinese, Korean, and whatever language you want me to do. Just give me like 6 months. Thank you, everyone.
See you. Bye-bye. So I'm going to be very brief because I know you want to hear from other people, the other speakers here, and most of you know what we do, with some exceptions. But let's see. So I wrote here networking matters because here is the center, the business center, and the business center was created in 2014 here when we just started working. Remember that it was about that time. Yes, and on the road was, we are on the road since '93. So next year we're gonna be 30 years old. So it is a long road, very, very long, sometimes a little bit winding, but we are getting there. So nowadays we have these two venues. One is in Jardim Social. Alan, you've seen Alan around. Alan is the manager there. There we have the small ones. John works there too. Isa works there. So teachers work in both places. There are more teachers that are not here today. But the small ones are a lot of fun. Isn't that true, John? John is...
Yes, I love them. Yeah, they're very cool.
And it is amazing that they're so young and they can already have classes with native speakers, and it's okay, you see. So at school we use a lot of communicative approach, so that's why it's possible. And you can also count with German, Spanish, French, like Raymond asked me, Italian, and they help us from the Social to coordinate big events of translations. Sometimes we have like Greeks, for example, and then we have Chinese, English, Russian, and also they help us to coordinate those events of translations. And here we work with personal professional strategic planning. What does it mean? That if somebody would like to change careers or would like to start a new business or something different for his life or her life, we are going to help them using the strategic tools. Okay? We have some people in the team that study, not quite a big group of people nowadays. There's myself, there's Gregory, there is George, who is our neighbor who cannot come here, there is our father George, who has a master in anthropology. Most of the others are graduated in business or they have a post-graduation business. So what we do is to help from point A to point B. My ideal me. So how do I get there? Okay, that's the idea on how to work. And then we also work with business English, immersion. Many people want immersion nowadays. I know that you participated in some of our immersions, in truly intensive courses. So what do we do in these immersions? When they are business immersions, they are generally thematic. So it's either about leadership or about business planning. They have one subject that's the main subject, and then we work with other subjects as well. And we call people from the market to participate. As we had Thomas, George participated in the last immersion on leadership. Like we brought Thomas, so Adon, we bring more people for the needs the group has. Because this is what is the main point, okay? To deliver what is needed. Like it's not something like, oh, everybody's going to do general English because it's the same. No, what do you need? What are you studying for? What is your purpose? And then we create a project for that. And also consecutive and simultaneous translations, as I told you. So your life in English. That is the idea. If you can do it in Portuguese, and if you need to do it in English, so let's do it in English. You don't need to have only English classes. You can have classes in English, business in English, for example. Okay? Or any other thing necessary for your professional or personal goal to achieve. Constant innovation. Somebody talked about innovation. Thank you for your words, okay? That's the idea. And we've created this environment where it is possible. Here is the team of the, remember our team for the last immersion. And we had even neuroscience in the, this guy here, Thomas, is a specialist, a Harvard specialist from neuroscience. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We also have smart conversation and conversation intensity. By the way, July is coming, so we'll have another conversation intensity probably. Just have to talk to you guys because they are the conversation intensive guys. So at the beginning of the pandemic, we thought it wouldn't be possible, but we were already working with some online classes. So then we really immersed. We had a carnival, remember? A whole carnival online. And we had you were in the conversation intensive, weren't you, Ariadne? No, not at the carnival. Carnival was great. So every night, instead of dancing, we would talk and have fun. People would wear masks, and at least it was a lot of fun. Okay, so nowadays, as during the pandemic, when we were leaving the pandemic, we realized we need to keep working with online because many adults, they need and they want, and sometimes, but I want so much only, Matheus, only now at school. I don't want to have online class anymore. Until the first day they come up and say, but can it be today, teacher? Just today. And then next class, because community, because of needs. And so we are adapting. So sometimes they are online, sometimes they are hybrid. It's a bit challenging, but sometimes we have students here and there, and we talk to them at the same time. So people, you can have classes from wherever you are. You see, no problem. Mentoring, as I told you, this girl I invited, Barbara Pinaka. Barbara, it was a very good story. This is a good one. She was like, I don't know what to do, I want to change, but maybe I can become a translator or a teacher. Then she came to school, she did some mentoring sessions, and then after some time she started watching classes, doing some translation was not her thing. And we said, it is okay, Dad, but you know what I would really like? I said, what would you really like? I'd like to be an instructor, but a medical, a doctor, to help a doctor, to be the assistant, the instrumentalist. I said, really? Would you like to do that? Why not, Mom? So then I studied with her how she would get there. And nowadays, guess what? That's what she's working with. So that is, I like to tell these stories to understand why mentoring, or why are we working with that here? To help people to reach what they want, what their dreams mean. You are going to receive vouchers for things at school, all of you. And one of them, for the people who are here, we have the mentoring sessions free every last Friday of the month. You can get one for you, not only at the last Friday, but you can choose another time. Just book with the girls. Okay, you can send a message, and we are gonna book the first for you. Young leaders. So as we work with mentoring, as we work with the strategic planning, the idea is that the youngsters, like people who are very young, they can also work with the strategic planning since the beginning, and entrepreneurship mainly. Because what makes a person do things, to go for their dreams, is to believe in themselves, isn't it? So that's the idea, to help them to understand what they like in themselves, what they don't, what they would be able to change, what they like, and then we show them different things like, for example, what is to be an entrepreneur? We invite people for them to get to know the life of the and also take them to places. We took them to the Bakashi airport, and they could go everywhere and understand what it is like. Not this group. This group is another idea, another thing. These are the exchange students from Rotary. They came to Brazil and they were learning Portuguese with us. All these people together. It was a big mess here at school. It was delicious, in fact, because you could listen to all kinds of language, all like French, Spanish, German, Chinese, Japanese, but they were here with the same goal. Valkyria was one of the teachers. Remember, a lot of fun. And we would always have somebody playing some music instrument because some of them had disabilities, so we were there. And co-working. This is another thing. You are all offered 1 day of co-working here. You're going to listen to English while you are here because this is the official language here. And you can have coffee, you can have fun, you can meet people. That is one of the things we also do. In company partnerships, if your company needs to teach English to your employees, or if you also need translations, other things I have in front of me, and you can count on with all the services. And also special conditions, because then depends on the number of employees, we can offer different, different prices and conditions. We've already talked to List, Copel, many companies that we work with. Well, traveling tips. I just wrote some travel. I just came back from London. I spent 9 days there. It was wonderful, wonderful. If I could, I would stay a little bit longer. And mind the gap, mind the gap. And then, but the specialist on traveling here is John, so after me he's going to talk to you about it. I just wrote some tips because every time we travel we realize that, well, we should do this or I should have big attention on that and so on. The first of them is organizing networks, because if you have more time, you have more chances of not missing anything. Because cities like London, New York, big cities, they have so much to offer. And sometimes I didn't know the singer I most adore. He was singing and I missed it. Yeah, because he didn't pay attention and everything that was going on. What I could say is there is what is the name? I have the last one I have on the plate. Time Out. It was the last issue printed it. They are not going to print it anymore. It was the last one, I brought it from there. So this magazine would give you, in the past, since the 90s, the early 90s, all that was going on in London. So you have the same in New York, by the way. You have Time Out in New York and other cities, Paris, and many cities. You have the web online. It's a good way of checking it. And we also have BBC, of course, in Europe, NBC, ABC in Australia and New Zealand. BBC, do you know what was happening in London? A strike, a railway strike. So every other day there was no underground. So they had to learn how to use buses and all of that. So this is why I tell you, if you don't know what's going on, you might play something that you won't be able to do. So it's very important. But it was good anyway. I could enjoy my time. As if it's your first time. I remember my first time going to London. London is my city, my passion. So every time I can, I go. So I remember first time that there was a friend of mine. We went together. We decided to go to Windsor Castle. Windsor, yeah, it was Windsor. And we, let's go, because you can go. And then we went. Guess what happened? We arrived there. It was like quarter to 4, and they said, well, we closed at 4. So what would I tell you? First time going anywhere, they have like programs at the hotels. They have buses to take you place. First time, better you do something like that. Or get a bus, but you know those buses that stop, they have like a round trip, and you go, visit somewhere, You get into the bus again, there is a name for it. It's hop in, hop off buses. So you go, and then you can visit the main attractions. In 1-2 days, you can buy a ticket for this time. And transportation matters. If you have an Oyster card or a Metro card in New York, you can top up the money, and then you use it according to your needs. Okay? That's it. Well, I have a video there, but I'm not going to show it right. You can just like some pictures of my dream. I don't know if no, it's not working. Well, it is. But then, with that, that's it. John, you can come here to relax. Thank you, thank you. The fun. No,
Sorry, I just dropped out of Leanne's slides.
You need some help there. You start
No, I got it.
helping or? I think I lost my
Let me prepare here, and then I tell you.
I was just thinking of, so before I talk a little about the course, actually there are other things I'm involved in. It was just hiding in the corner. But one interesting project that I kind of got pulled into, one of my students is a singer and he wrote a mini EP. So he wanted to write a love song for his wife in English about how they met. Unfortunately, they didn't come. I invited them, but he arrives home from work pretty late, which is a shame. His name is Jean, and his wife is Vanessa, and he actually wrote a love song in the style of ska music. I don't know if you guys know ska, but it's a kind of music. So he wrote this song, and then he asked me if I would help him polish it because it was for his wife, and she didn't know that he was going to do it. And then he released it in Spotify, I believe, and then told her about it like at the same time. So that was a quite nice surprise, and I got involved. So this was a fun project that just appeared, and I did it in like one day. It was pretty cool. Ready to rock? Okay, so I'm John, as I said, English language instructor here. Obviously, I'm not Brazilian. I originate from England. The last just over 20 years, I've been living in different parts of Brazil. So first was a small satellite city near Brasilia. It was an amazing place to live. As soon as it started to get dark, everything basically closed. It was a little scary, I have to be honest. If there was lights on, was usually because it was involved in some kind of criminal activity. So you have to be a little careful. I did 2 years there, 7 years in Goiás, in a small farming city because my wife was studying at the university there. It was okay, but the heat, it's a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. 32 degrees, 7 a.m. in the morning, and the last just over 10 years we've been here in Curitiba, and for all the time I've been here, I've worked for Liane and Alan, and my wife works in Ministério Público, but she speaks English. She was a teacher for a very, very short time here, like a month. But unfortunately, she's not here. If you go to the Festa Junina tomorrow, you can meet her. She's decorating a cake that I baked in the afternoon. So you get to meet her there and practice your English with her. So, my course is about travel online. It's not actually ready because when I started making it, it exists, but it needs polishing. We were in the pandemic. Well, finally the pandemic lifted and I could travel. So now I will add the experiences of my wife's first visit to England, where she got to go shopping with my mum. Did you like that, honey? She loved it, trust me. Primark, Brazilian's favourite place in England. You know, I've kind of dragged my wife out of there because, you know. So she had a lot of experiences I want to incorporate in it. Also, Leanne went, and Isa is going to travel to Australia and probably not come back. So I want to try to include these experiences as well. So what I decided to do was take some of the themes from the travel course and kind of do a kind of interactive presentation with you guys shouting out answers so that I'm not here all embarrassed on my own. Okay. So the first thing is where do people like to visit? So the first part of the course only centers on two places, the beach and the city. It's a more generic because I cannot include every place people like to go. For example, in Europe, people love Amsterdam. It's not for the marijuana, I promise. Okay. It's prohibited now, apparently. Only natives can smoke marijuana there, so cross it off your list. Okay. So, but there are other places people like to visit. So, what places have you guys visited? What places did you really like to visit? Oh, I killed the place. Yeah.
The country.
You like to visit the countryside? Yeah. Of Brazil or other countries?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So you visited a lot of places?
Yeah.
Is it better if I take this off?
It's okay. It's better.
I think I'll take it off. I get accustomed to wearing it because at the school I have contact with the children. I don't want to pass anything on, and I don't want to catch whatever they got, you know, because children have always got allergy in England, you know. So a little better now? Yeah. So what countries have you visited?
Scotland.
Really? Cool. Did you go to Loch Ness?
Sorry?
Did you visit Loch Ness?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, unbelievable.
But I didn't see Nessie.
You didn't see
He wasn't there that day.
What a shame, man. You could have been famous in the newspaper. Yeah. What else?
United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Maybe to Mexico.
Yeah.
It's not a little dangerous there, yeah?
Well, Brazil is a little bit dangerous too, so.
Yeah, but in Brazil they don't cut your head off and stick it on a wall, yeah?
Not in public.
Yeah, good point. I remember.
Not that we know.
Wow, so you traveled a lot then, yeah? Cool. Anybody else? What places do you like to visit? Come on, Valkyrie, I can see you smiling. I know you visited England. Yeah.
Well, I quite like to be in places where not very many people go. For instance, I guess the Iguaçu Falls are undoubtedly beautiful, but I definitely wouldn't like to go there and share the catwalk with 2,000 people at the same time. No, quite an exaggeration, but I would like to have the opportunity to go to more desertic places, more in contact with the nature. But I only had an experience to go abroad. It was long ago, and then I went to London. From London to Torquay, and then back to London, then to Cheltenham, and then back to London, and then to Worcester, and back to London, and to Paris. And that was really an unforgettable experience, though I have to confess, I didn't see the place with the eyes of a tourist because I stayed with people whom I had met here. So it was more like pretending I was a local dweller, doing the same things they would do, like running errands if necessary, or and Glenda, the English lady with whom I stayed, she was very not funny, but let's say, oh, today I want to see, let's say, the Piccadilly Circus, just to fabricate. She would say, rubbish. You must go to the National History Museum, or the opposite. But anyway, it was challenging. And at the time, I had the opportunity to watch a concert at Wembley Arena. That was Slayer, Megadeth, Testament.
Now you're talking my language.
And
Yes,
Suicidal
Tendencies.
Tendencies.
Yes,
So it was a nice opportunity too, because I didn't plan to.
But you're talking about an old one we stayed there, yeah? This has been reformed now.
Yes. And then in Paris, just did some walk arounds. What I somehow felt sorry for, I was completely on my own. And when you're on your own, you can do a lot of things, but you have to keep all your emotion inside. I remember I was by the riverbanks, and one of those boats was coming back from a ride, and I wish I had someone to look at and say, how beautiful, but the beauty is inside my heart. Anyway, there's a song that says the best place is here and now. So I guess whenever we have an opportunity to know or to get to know new places, at least to me, it's always welcome, even if I'm in Piraquara. You see, I will try to find something in Piraquara. It can be a flower to say good morning.
Yes, great.
That's it. And then in Brazil, not many places. A bit of Santa Catarina, 2 or 3 or 5 times to São Paulo, but I cannot say I know São Paulo. Then some days in the Northeast, and that's it.
Oh, I think you actually visited more places in England than me. Anybody else, very quick, before we jump on?
I did travel quite much. I was thinking here, I think I visited like 18 countries.
18 different countries?
Yeah. So I was in Europe for a year, and there is like really easy to travel. So 12 countries was from this travel, and
in one trip, 12 countries.
No, because it was like really close. So like I went in like Wednesday and come back like on Sunday, and I visit like 3 or 4 different countries because it was like really close. So it's kind of like really easy to travel there, and like the flights was like 10 euros, so you can go like every place in Europe for like really cheap. But I think one of the most amazing place that I went to was South Africa. It was like a really huge experience for me because we were like in a country that is not really like a point of a lot of people go to visit. So we went to I forgot the name, the Sahara to visit.
Sahara Desert?
Not Sahara Desert, it's the savannah. We went to savannah, and we saw they call the Big Five. So the Big Five animals is the lion, the cheetah, the rhino, the hippo and the elephant.
Leopard.
It's the cheetah.
The cheetah?
Cheetah is kind of a leopard, but it's faster. This is a little bit different. And we saw the five of them, and it was like really amazing because when we were coming back to the place that we were staying, we stopped the car for like a few moments because we were late to go back to the place. And when we were coming back, we saw the cheetah like passing really fast in front of us. And it was like really amazing experience.
That's cool. That's an interesting experience. I'm sure that there's many more places people visit. If I do everybody, we're going to run out of time. Yeah. So, interestingly, when I was doing sorry.
Allow me to interject.
Oh, yes, please.
That I lived in Portugal, which you guys have all been missing. Like you speak Portuguese. I don't. Everybody wanted to practice their English with me. And, now I speak Portuguese, so, now I'm good. But that was like living in the countryside. That was really awesome.
Have you been to Óbidos? Óbidos next to Lisboa? Óbidos is a very ancient city. You have only the ruins, the rocky houses and the walls. It's a very nice city.
I was mostly coast, Cascais, just Lisbon. Yeah. Anyway, but
there is a reason. Objection. When people go to Europe, they don't want to visit Brazil. Go to Portugal.
But I am a city boy. I have been born in New York. And, my father was a pilot, so I was born with wanderlust as well. But yeah, Portugal was awesome. Yes, I just thought I would interject that. Yeah. So sorry, please go on.
But it is an interesting thing because being a gringo too, as well as George, even when I try to practice Portuguese, sometimes still people appear and start talking to me in English. Burger King, for example, I couldn't even go to Burger King without the young girl saying, "You're not from Brazil?" I said, "No, I know." She said, "And you speak English?" I said, "Oh, yeah." She said, can I take your order in English? And then we had to restart again. And my wife was just standing there shaking her head. She said, "Jesus Christ, I can't even take you to the shopping mall without this happening." And the entire Burger King stopped. It was in Estação. And it's just like, and my wife was there like, really, so, but it's fun, I think, yeah. And it's an excuse not to speak Portuguese. Don't tell my wife I said that. She'll heard me.
Be careful, she's watching.
Hopefully, she's finishing decorating the cake. So, I did do a little research, and interestingly, the research only ended in 2019 because, of course, we weren't really traveling. But I did find out that in 2019, the top places people like to visit were all historical places. So we had, for example, the Colosseum was the top place to visit, weirdly enough. They were all architectural places. Yeah? The second one, the Louvre, to go see the Mona Lisa. I mean, it's like about this big apparently. I always imagined it was like, like the top of the Sistine Chapel or something, and then apparently it's a tiny, pokey little thing like this.
20 meters away.
Yeah. Really? It's that small.
It looks smaller because of the distance.
Yes, somebody tried to vandalize it, or they threw cake on it or something.
Yeah.
What a waste of cake they could give that I got it, right? So the Vatican Museum, surprisingly enough, was another one. Yeah. And the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower, which I imagined would be nearer the top, but was still in the top 5. So even though we visit many places, historical places seem to be still the places to visit. A lot of people told me when they go to Rio, for example, they like to visit the fortress. There's a fortress. I've never been there, but they told me, "Titi, you got to go to the fortress." I'm afraid to go though. Every time I want to go there, our friends say, no, there's a civil war happening. Well, I don't think it's that bad. Maybe it is, I don't know. So, the next part is packing your bags. So, for a bit of fun, I'd like to talk about things people forget to pack when they travel. So, what do you guys usually forget to pack when you're packing your bags? Why don't you tell us something that you forgot when you were packing your bags to travel? The children? No?
I don't know.
No, you never forgotten anything?
No, I don't know.
Raincoat.
No?
No.
Oh, so you're one of the lucky few, I think.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've forgotten when you were packing your bags when you traveled? Toothpaste.
More than once.
More than once. Interesting. Isa, tell us.
Once I forgot my deodorant, then I bought another one, then I lost it. And then I found out all of them were in my bag.
You weren't going to run out then, yeah?
Yes, but I have forgotten my shoes already. I'm a very forgetful person.
You went on vacation without your shoes?
Yes, that's the one in my feet and I had to buy new.
Wow, you only took like one pair of shoes?
Yes, the ones in my feet. And the other I had to buy.
It's not enough for women.
Yeah, gonna tell my wife now, honey, you don't need the suitcase only for your shoes, I promise. Go, George.
Good Havaianas is much more practical.
Flip flops. Yeah, we love them.
It's much easier.
Can be very expensive abroad.
Yes.
Yes. They are everywhere. You have Havaianas now.
Brahma beer is also very expensive in England.
What's that?
Brahma beer. Guaraná as well, very expensive.
But why would you drink it? Every pub has their own beer. It's beer heaven.
Yes, I agree with you.
What about you, Leanne? Have you ever forgotten something?
Well, sometimes I regret not taking because I like to pack light. I don't like to take a lot of things with me. And this time I got a very small one and I could take everything. The only thing I had was a raincoat or an umbrella. This is sometimes I regret not taking. But should I take it? What it will get heavier, but I think I from now on I'm taking always a raincoat. A raincoat or one of them.
Next.
When I go to the beach, I normally forget my bikinis and sun cream, this kind of thing. Well, sun lotion, or when I go to the countryside, I forget the repellent, this kind of thing. That are quite obvious, but it's normally what happens. Now I have a list, a checklist.
Fortunately, quite available too.
Yeah.
Next.
I have a big history that once I forgot my passport. This wasn't like the biggest problem because when I was in Germany and I was going to Lyon, and the thing is the bus stops at Switzerland, and Switzerland is not a European country. So for me to get in Germany, I didn't need my passport. But when I stopped in Switzerland to change buses, I need my passport, and I couldn't come back. I could go 4, so this was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I need to wait until 5 o'clock in the morning to get a train, because the train I don't need my passport, to go back to Germany to get my passport.
You forgot your passport in another country.
And then this was like really shitty. I did sleep in the train station, and it was like a crazy one.
Yeah, and they let you sleep there in the station. They didn't bother you.
No, it was okay because they have like bathrooms, so I could have a shower, I could have like everything, and I sleep in one of the chairs that do massage, so it was kind of okay, not so bad. but it was like 5 degrees, so it was kind of sucks.
Sorry, what did you say about Switzerland?
So I was living in a city that was like 30 minutes by walk to Switzerland. So when I was going to Lyon, France, I need to stop in Zurich to change buses. And then I stopped in there, and when I forgot my passport, I couldn't get in the buses because it was like forbidden to go without a passport.
Oh, okay.
So I need to go back with the train station that was like only open for like 3 or 4 hours later.
Wow. Aliás, então,
Once I forgot my NAIC, and nowadays I try to pack my bags before, one day before the day that I will travel. But I forgot the time of the flight in Chile, in Santiago, because I was in a party at Mercado Público, Mercado Municipal in Santiago. It was very, very fun, and I forgot the time, and I lost the fight.
alcohol probably has Valkyria, have you forgotten anything when you travel?
I think I have to forget not to pack too many things because now, thank God, they have that limit.
Yeah.
Yes, but when I went to London, as I told you, it's almost unbelievable. I didn't forget. I was so precautious, in fact, that I took, it's going to sound like a lie, but 23 pairs of All-Star. Very many colors,
Wow.
thinking
Yeah.
if I go out with my red t-shirt, I have my red vest.
So you're traveling for how long?
A month.
A month. Okay.
With 23 pairs of
Okay.
All-Stars.
Wow. I think not 23, 13. Okay, but anyway, a lot. There was a child in the house and she said, "Oh, why do you have so many?" But no, I've already forgotten a Christmas gift. That was sad, but I somehow improvised something, not what I wanted, but I forgot it. Then the sweetener for my contacts. That's it. Well, she missed the flight, and I missed the plane, and I was already in the boarding room, and then I saw so many people moving. And then I said, oh, it must be delayed again. When everybody, I forgot to go on board. And then I said, can you please tell me if there's a big delay? She said, what flight? And Porto Alegre, Curitiba, and I say, it's just left. And so I forgot to go on board.
But I'm sure you've never forgotten a shoe.
No. But nowadays I would have to take care because of the limit. But then I confess, I see it as stupidity, you see, because there's no point in taking 13 pairs of sneakers. I said, well, if I find no one, at least they will keep me company. But yes, just basic things, usually personal belongings. I think it's just that, and the gate.
I did this like you in São Paulo.
You did see the plane?
Yes, because I forgot.
And I was not sleeping.
No,
I was not. I was really laid back waiting for them to announce that was the last call.
I was experiment via computer.
Oh.
Yeah. I confess.
Next.
Oh, I always forget my the charge for my cell phone.
Oh, cell phone charger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always that too.
And finally,
sorry.
Well, I have to go to okay. Alguma coisa você esquece quando você viajar?
We can translate.
Acho que já esqueci minha roupa íntima.
Oh yeah? It's like, wait.
Sempre nisso, hein? Esqueci de arrumar na mala, né? Que eu acabei perdendo o contexto aqui do que vocês estavam falando, então não entendi muito.
Mas eu acho que o problema é quando sua esposa fala onde é suas roupas íntimas. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So, a little quicker. So, the top things people forget. Phone charger, yeah, there we go. Toothpaste, swimsuit, yeah. Laundry bag, to put your dirty socks and that in, and first aid kit. But before we change, there are other things that we need to remember, especially for women traveling to some countries, feminine hygiene products. Yeah, feminine hygiene products. Because some countries they don't have them, so there are no sanitary products. Yeah, and one more, it's a little crazy. Yeah, so don't forget contraception. Why? A report concluded by Baby Center in America found that out of 800 couples that they interviewed, 40% of the couples claimed they actually conceived during their vacation. So, sun, sea, sand, a lot of alcohol, a lot of not alcohol, So, holidays and babies seem to be a natural combination. So, this is not in the course, conceiving babies, okay? I can do it if you like. I can put it in OnlyFans. I'll charge you guys like $20 a month for it. Yeah. But in the course, it has a basic checklist, okay? So that if you don't use Google Keep or something, you can print a PDF there, okay? Okay, things to do on a plane very quickly. I'm going to go a little quicker because otherwise the others won't have time. So, things to do on an airplane, apart from sleep.
Networking, for sure.
Networking, or avoiding the screaming children running up and down the plane. Read your favorite books or content. Watch TV shows. Learn a language. Start a journal, so you can blog, because we have internet now. Bring a coloring book. And this was not for the children. This was for the adults, apparently. Yeah. Organize your devices. So delete everything that you don't want people to see. Yeah. Yoga, George, for you?
I like this.
What, yoga or hiding the things on your phone you don't want people to see? And socializing, say, hey, my name.
Conceiving babies. Conceiving babies.
Okay, so hotel. Not much to say here because we only really do two things in a hotel.
Check in and out.
Yes, I was going to say sleep and have breakfast. In the online course, there are some conversations and stuff there, and I try to
have the conceiving babies as well.
Yes, I never thought about that. It's looking more and more better that they do a baby making course as well. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later because I'm not sure how the videos might be banned in YouTube. Yeah. So, out and about. So, places that people like to visit when they travel. So, what kind of places do people like to visit? What kind of places do you like to visit when you're out traveling?
Zoo.
The zoo?
Yeah.
All cities have a zoo. Yeah. What other places do people like to visit?
restaurant.
Restaurants.
Yes, restaurants.
Yeah.
I love restaurants. Maybe a little too much. I think. I'm going to blame my wife for that one. Yeah? Ariadne, tell us somewhere that you'd like to visit when you're out and about on holiday.
I love to go out with my little Jack, my little dog, to take a walk at Mall. Museu Oscar Niemeyer. I live near there. And the Curitiba's park. We have a lot of parks here.
27, is it now? I think, yeah, something like that, yeah.
I'd like to go there.
I was born here and I didn't knew we had I thought we had 5 or 6.
I was born at 5, but I'm like, how many? I don't know.
Maybe 10.
It's because they include all those little bosties, those little woods and everything as well, but there's a lot of places. Where do you like to visit when you're out and about?
I also like nature, like parks. Yeah.
Fine hotels.
Nature, yeah.
What about you, Liani? Hiding the places that you like to visit when you're out and about?
Places, what?
Places you like to visit when you're on vacation?
Places I like to visit?
Yeah.
Oh, I like to go to the countryside, but I also like to do things that people do. For example, going to the theater, or doing like what they like. Going to a pub that's not like a place that is like tourism, target, but to go to them, participate in people's lives. That's one of the things.
Okay, so again from 2019, because we're just escaping from COVID, walking tours apparently was one of the top things that people liked to do. Where you go to a city and they have a guide, and then they take you in London they have a Jack the Ripper one where you can visit the sites of where he slaughtered people and that. Segway tours. Do you know that? The Segway, it's like that two-wheeled thing that they ride around on, sometimes see the security guys.
Cycling, no, not with a cab.
Yeah, you stand on it. They used to have them here in Curitiba, I think, a while back. So hop on, hop off bus tours, similar to the one we have in Curitiba. You pay and you get on and off the tour buses. Surprisingly, cooking classes or food tours. So people like to visit wineries, for example, and places like this, vineyards.
I'll write this down.
Thank you for the tip. Experience the local flavor, so get out and experience something local. Unfortunately, when we went to England, my wife really couldn't do this because they were. We stayed there over Christmas, and because all the shops had been working like crazy during the pandemic, they had like a 4-day holiday. So unfortunately, you didn't get to see that much of it. My wife did get to have a cooked British breakfast like 5 times. So I included Airbnb experiences because it was in the list. But this kind of experience seems now to involve the owners of the houses or the apartments installing hidden cameras and kind of filming you going about your business.
Consider babies.
But they put it like in OnlyFans or whatever and start selling you making babies. Okay, eating out. I just got a little quicker. So shopping, okay, because otherwise I'm gonna use all the time. So the eating out, it's in the course there. Some language for ordering food. Because you can't go around doing all the time. Yeah, it works here actually. Yeah. So shopping, souvenirs. Yeah, everybody loves to buy souvenirs, fridge magnets, these kind of things. Yeah. So what kind of souvenirs do you guys buy? Lillian, you're hiding there at the back. Yeah, tell us, what souvenirs do you like buying?
Well, fridge magnets is a big hit.
First one.
We love the fridge magnets.
Oh,
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, postcards. People don't do that anymore, but I love to send a postcard to somebody when I'm abroad. I think it's a
People
nice
love this
touch.
in England. Yeah, we don't do it in Brazil. Yeah.
No, right?
Yeah. Well, they buy them and they don't give them to anyone. They just put them on the mirror.
Or yeah.
What other things do people buy for souvenirs?
Shot glass.
Chocolates? You buy chocolates for people?
No, shot glass.
Oh, shot glasses. Yeah, sorry, I should tell you. Buy chocolates only for me, not for anyone.
Yeah,
Shot glasses. Oh, the beer mats, the coasters.
Beer mats?
Yeah, did you put it? Yes, coasters, I think Americans, yeah. Beer mats in England, yeah. Anything else?
John brings cat diffusers to everyone.
So I'm just going to show because. So the top 10 ornaments: T-shirts, postcards, shot glasses. Yeah. Surprisingly, people have a tattoo, a souvenir tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. So you wake up in the morning, the beautiful person there, and say, "Okay, I want to remind you," and tattoo their phone number on your butt. Sand in a bottle. Fridge magnets, yeah. Tea towels, yeah. Tea towels. Key rings and gift from a stranger. No, we're not talking about. No, it's not conceiving anymore. Okay. We're talking about when somebody gives you something. Yes, like the beer mat in a bar or something like that. Yeah. Other gifts from strangers for another class, I think. Yeah. Might be in the conversation intensive. How to conceive in 10 countries. Yeah. And hey, I'm at the end. Okay, so everybody. Okay, who's next?
Então, eu só vou pegar a sua apresentação aqui, daí eu te aviso no final, beleza?
No, I found out. I didn't find the state.
Just get drunk and stay here.
Come on.
You need to go home.
Sort of British.
Need what? Sorry, what?
Primeiro, Alisson. Daí assim, ó, a gente vai ter que colocar aqui também. Daí você manuseia esse aí e eu pego aqui, entendeu? Daí tem que colocar ali. Deixa eu ver como é que posso fazer. Vou enviar o arquivo no WhatsApp. Porque o WhatsApp tá ali logado, né? Vou mandar ali.
Did you order pizza?
Oi? Ah, fechou um pouquinho? Beleza. Aqui, ó, tô enviando agora. Só mandar aqui o arquivo.
Tá vendo bem aqui?
What John's already going.
Tá bom, obrigado.
Ele não apareceu no vídeo. Tá bom assim? Mais um pouquinho?
Mais um pouquinho. One portion of fishing and one portion of French.
Yeah.
So just tell us, there.
Alisson presentation. On the road conversation.
What are you looking for? The PowerPoint?
For the PowerPoint? Here we have it, but we can have to put there as well.
This computer is the body.
It's quite cold when you go outside.
Tem que colocar em tela cheia ali. Isso aqui tira o sinal, tá? Aqui nessa, daí você pode fazer aqui, ó. Nessa setinha do lado.
I've never even visited London.
Estourou.
Because I was married when I was 17. My children, they do want to visit these places, but 2 hours on the train with small children, it's not a good thing. They can't sit still. And near where I lived, there were 5 amusement parks. The furthest one was more than an hour, but the nearest one was like 30 minutes from my house. It was £11 to get a wristband and the children. So I spend the morning at the zoo, making sure they eat something, and they just didn't. I say, hey guys, let's go to London. And I never went. And then when I went with my wife, she wanted to go, but because of the pandemic, you had to have a test, and I was afraid that they would, if I got a bad test, we wouldn't get on the plane, so I had to be very careful. But I would try to go. We're going to go in December and visit my mum, and then we'll try to go there because we're going to stay a bit longer. So, they told me that it's amazing. Loch Ness, yeah.
The castles are amazing too.
Yeah?
Unique castles and scenic views. Is that right?
Yeah, if you take the scenic tour of Scotland, yeah.
Countryside views with all castles. Some castles in the countryside. It's very good.
And the nice thing is that a lot of the castles are pretty complete as well, so you can actually go in them. Some of them are ruined, but they have a lot of castles to visit.
I think the one I am remembering now is the castle. It's next to Edinburgh.
Edinburgh Castle, on the top of the hill.
I think that is one of them that I remember.
I have never visited Scotland. Once we were going to visit Edinburgh, but it didn't happen. But they told me that it's beautiful. The view from the top of the mountains of the castle on above the city. Did you go there?
Yeah, it was young. I remember maybe I didn't see something up, but I have the
Bem assim, eles pensam assim, como seria mais simples? Eles fazem desse jeito.
I visited a few when I was younger. When I went with my wife, I visited a couple of places. There was so many places, when we went to December. That if you failed one, then you had to stay isolated for 10 more days, and we couldn't afford another 10 days in England. We visited Derby City was the nearest big city to where my mum lived when I was there 25 years ago. compared to what I'm at now, that's totally different. I completely know how much the city is. You know? That's good shit.
Yeah. I never been to it.
No?
Water has it. I'll get some food there. Yeah. Saw eating something there. I am very hungry right now.
Vamos, quer começar? Eu vou chamar a moça. I will call the people. They wanna drink.
Just a minute, we are coming back with the presentation in soon.
Compared to starting playing with the kids.
Yay!
My wife is making a cake for the festival. It's half of it, yeah.
Because it's such a different environment. It's like the team, so that's in the country. You can stop the time because you know when
People research and elections make in the cake.
and then the person, you can, for example, to
Yes, chocolate, vanilla, and something else.
It's already, tá pronto já, daí é só esperar o pessoal chegar.
Build it now because tomorrow I should have class, then go home, and then go to the festival.
Just $5. It's the best investment ever.
It's amazing because it's something so simple. It's so good.
It's already done, just waiting for the rest of it.
I think if you want to start, you can. Se quiser começar, o pessoal vai vindo. Eles estão comendo.
De novo a concorrência com o drink foi
É.
real.
They're coming.
They were in conversation with me that are in the table.
Sorry?
On the table. And Borges and the other one, I can't remember the name. Where are they? They're here.
They have to leave Borges.
Ah.
They have to.
Fishing.
Well, you know what? When we record, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, because people know it's there, and they can watch. There we go.
Boa noite a todos. Minha palestra será em português, então obrigado pelo convite. Estou aqui aprendendo bastante, ouvindo, né? Infelizmente não falo inglês ainda, mas foi muito precioso esse tempo. Então, quero compartilhar um pouco daquilo que tem sido motivador na minha vida, né? Me apresentei para vocês, mas só repetindo. Meu nome é Alisson, eu tenho 41 anos. Sou casado e pai de 3 filhos. Sou um homem muito apaixonado pela minha esposa. Amo a Deus acima de tudo também, amo meus filhos. E hoje eu sou empresário atuando em 3 negócios ao mesmo tempo. E um dia me fizeram uma pergunta. Como você faz para decidir no que empreender, né? Na nossa área de tecnologia e de negócios, muitas coisas vêm na nossa mão como oportunidades, né? E a gente tem que fazer decisões. Às vezes, se eu escolhesse tudo que veio na minha mão, hoje eu talvez seria sócio de umas 20 empresas, mas eu escolhi apenas 4 para ser sócio, né? E aí, quando me fizeram essa pergunta, como é que eu fazia para escolher algo para empreender ou para me manter por muito tempo, né, dentro de um negócio? Porque hoje em dia as pessoas trocam de negócio muito fácil. O primeiro desafio que vem, eles desistem, né? E essa geração agora, inclusive, diz que vai trocar 5 vezes de profissão na vida delas, né? O cara começa como médico e ele termina como chefe de cozinha, né? Não tem nada a ver uma coisa com a outra, mas é assim que funciona. O cara se rala para passar na OAB, ele termina um ano depois, ele é nutricionista. É o que você está vendo hoje, então as pessoas não dão continuidade. E a pessoa me fez uma pergunta, como é que você faz para se manter nisso ou decidir investir? E aquilo me fez gerar uma reflexão. E eu entendi que essas 3 coisas aqui, elas são necessárias para você empreender algo ou se manter, né? Propósito, habilidade e retorno. E é sobre isso que eu queria falar hoje com vocês, né? Eu entendo que propósito ele tem que ser a base de tudo para nós, né? A base de qualquer relacionamento ou qualquer empreendimento que você vai ter, você tem que ter um propósito. E o Simon Sinek, não sei se já ouviram uma palestra chamada Golden Circle no TED Talks a respeito disso, ele diz que apenas 1% das empresas mundiais elas trabalham para o propósito. O restante se focam no o que fazem e como elas fazem. E a minoria se preocupa no porquê elas fazem. Nos dias de hoje, se você tenta empreender em qualquer área, não existe mais coisa nova. Antigamente, se você quisesse abrir um açougue, você ia ficar rico, né? Hoje tem açougue em toda esquina, farmácia, e todo negócio que você tem uma ideia, alguém já fez ou vai fazer tão rápido, né? E as pessoas, as empresas, quando elas se preocupam no que elas fazem, elas não têm diferencial nenhum. E o teu diferencial está principalmente no teu propósito, né? No porquê você faz a tua coisa, por que você está aí. Qual é a motivação de você acordar todo dia e empreender? Não sei se você já parou para pensar, mas hoje, se eu te fizesse uma pergunta, você trabalha exatamente no que você gosta? Ou você está mais um sobrevivente, né? Aí eu gosto de dizer isso aqui, que seria muito pobre trabalhar somente por dinheiro. E a maioria das pessoas só querem dinheiro. E o dinheiro, ele é muito pobre, a gente correr atrás apenas do dinheiro. Então é o propósito que nos motiva, é o propósito que nos faz perdurar e é o propósito que deve ser a base do porquê eu vou começar alguma coisa. Porque senão amanhã alguém vai fazer algo igual você ou até mesmo melhor do que você, né? Então quando você não tem um propósito no teu negócio, você não tem uma causa, não tem um foco, e quando eu falo de propósito, estou dizendo apenas não estou falando aqui de filantropia, né? Porque às vezes as pessoas confundem propósito com filantropia, eu quero ajudar os outros, né? Às vezes pode ser o propósito ganhar dinheiro também, mas como fazer isso, né? Segunda coisa que eu gosto de falar é a habilidade, porque a definição de habilidade aqui é a característica ou a particularidade daquele que é hábil ou a capacidade de destreza e de agilidade. Você já percebeu que quando o cara ele é muito bom no que ele faz, as pessoas que assistem ele fazendo, eles acham que é fácil? Eu sou surfista, e quando eu vejo o Kelly Slater, que para nós é um atleta fora do normal, quando ele está surfando parece que é muito fácil dar um aéreo. Parece que é muito fácil subir numa prancha e dar uma rasgada. O cara, ele vem, ele pula, ele cai deitado, ele levanta, e parece muito simples você cair e levantar em cima de uma prancha, e é muito difícil. Porque quando você tem o estado da arte, quando você é habilidoso, você transmite como se fosse simples, né? E a habilidade, ela é um recurso natural, intrínseco, necessário para tudo aquilo que a gente vai fazer. A gente estava aqui agora há pouco no network ali, no início, com os meninos falando inglês, meu Deus, que perfeição, né? Que perfeição, a tradução, a dicção, tudo aquilo que envolve, né? Já ouvi muitas pessoas, estavam perguntando aqui quais países visitaram. Eu tive o privilégio de visitar 10 países diferentes já nesse tempo. Fui a Machu Picchu, fui para Luxemburgo, Paris, e a gente ouve pessoas falando agora que eles meninos pareciam nativos de algum lugar, de tão perfeito que é a prática deles, né? A habilidade dele é tão grande que parecia tão fácil falar inglês, não é assim, tão simples assim, né? Mas a habilidade também é um recurso necessário para que você se mantenha ou para que você inicie alguma coisa. E a última coisa, Peter Drucker ele diz assim, né, que a única habilidade que será importante nesse século é a habilidade de aprender novas habilidades. O aprender a aprender, né? Isso aqui é algo que muitas das pessoas não gostam de desenvolver ou de correr atrás, mas é extremamente importante também a habilidade. E o retorno, eu diria que tudo que a gente faz, a gente busca ter uma resposta, um feedback daquilo e um retorno, né? Então, o retorno ele é necessário, inclusive, para balizar se a gente está no caminho certo, se a gente está fazendo as coisas certas, e elas são importantes até mesmo para nos manter motivados. E aqui a definição de retorno seria coisa que se dá em troca de outra espécie. Então, tudo que a gente empreende, a gente busca alguma coisa. Tudo que a gente começa, a gente quer ter um retorno daquilo, certo? E aí, pensando nesses 3 fatores aqui que eu falei, propósito, habilidade e retorno, né? Eu digo que retorno não se deve ser mensurado apenas por cifras. As pessoas pensam que só o dinheiro é importante para ela, a maioria, né? Pensa nisso, mas o retorno deve ser mensurado também, principalmente pelo nível de satisfação, paz e legado. O quanto você é satisfeito com o que você faz. O quanto você é feliz com o que você desenvolve, que você tem paz nisso e que você está construindo algo para o futuro, né? E pensando nesses 3 fatores, eu estou partindo já para a conclusão da minha parte aqui, mas eu queria deixar a importância de você equilibrar essas 3 coisas, o propósito, a habilidade e o retorno. Por que é importante? Porque não adianta ter propósito. Você pode ter propósito em tudo que você faz. Pode ser um cara cheio de propósito, começou, você é bom, mas você não tem retorno. O que vai acontecer? Você vai largar. Porque infelizmente de propósito e habilidade você não consegue sobreviver. Você tem que ter um retorno financeiro, inclusive, para manter até a tua causa, que às vezes é uma questão de paixão, né? E se não tem retorno, você desiste. Também não adianta ser bom, né, ter habilidade e ter retorno financeiro. Você vai ter um burnout, né? E é um problema que hoje mais está pegando aí os bancários, multinacional, médicos. O cara trabalha, mas ele não tem propósito. O que vai acontecer? Vai ter uma crise emocional tão cedo e essa conta não vai fechar depois. O dinheiro pode ser... E a gente passou na minha casa isso, minha esposa foi bancária por 11 anos e ela teve burnout, foi um problema muito sério e foi bem desafiador, uma filha de 3 anos na época, foi muito difícil viver aquilo e eu falei para ela, sai e vem para casa e eu aguento, tranco e vamos ralar, mas eu prefiro você saudável do que ter dinheiro, né? E quando se trabalha em multinacional, quando se trabalha em banco, você é refém de todos os benefícios, né? É academia, escola é inglês, é PLR, é tudo aquilo, mas faltando motivador, propósito, o dinheiro não paga a saúde. E hoje, depois naquele momento, baixamos 10 vezes o padrão em casa, mas a minha casa estava saudável. Então vale a pena, né? Não adianta ter habilidade de dinheiro sem propósito. E, para finalizar, não adianta ter propósito e dinheiro e não ser bom. Se você não é bom, alguém passa por cima de você e o mercado não perdoa, né? O mercado não aceita amador. O mercado não aceita jeitinho ou meia boca. Ou você tem propósito, você é habilidoso e você tem retorno para você persistir nessas coisas, né? Para finalizar, eu te faço uma pergunta. Você se sente equilibrado nessas 3 áreas? Não precisa me responder, mas você se sente equilibrado entre fazendo por propósito, porque você se sente vocacionado para fazer o que você está fazendo nesse momento? Você se sente habilidoso, hábil para fazer e desenvolver a sua tarefa? E você tem tido retorno nisso? Se não encontrar equilíbrio nisso, pare e repense. Porque há tempo de renovar, de mudar de carreira, de romper com estruturas. E eu vejo que a maioria das pessoas não rompem com estruturas porque elas têm medo. E para você empreender ou fazer qualquer coisa, você não pode ter medo. Muito obrigado por essa oportunidade de apresentar aqui para vocês e espero ter contribuído com alguma coisa na vida de vocês.
Muito bom.
wife making an entire cake on my own. Now I'm married. Tomorrow I'll be divorced. I don't know
We are
how
considering to employ you in a different adventure. I think you could go for standby comment.
So you're going to say therapist?
Yes,
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, my wife might mind. They will be watching you guys online.
Okay. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go.
I will be watching you guys on the phone. Yeah. But if I leave my wife making an entire cake.
By the way, tomorrow we have a party at the other school. It's a July party, like June party, that is a July. Vai ser uma festa junina, né? Ao invés de festa junina, vai acontecer durante a tarde toda. Everybody's invited, okay? I'm going to send you the info.
Come have some cake. You can meet my wife, practice your English. Some cake, because there's going to be a lot of cake, I think. There was a lot of cake last time.
John asked people to come here. When you need, ask them to, stop drinking and come here, because now we are going to listen to Carlos.
Okay, so stop drinking alcohol or listen to the gringo. Not really a good choice. I'll try it though, yeah.
Right.
They will tell them that there's some. I'll tell them that you guys have got caipiros and you got it probably work.
No, the barman is here.
Oh, yeah? Oh, we kidnapped the barman and you've got to watch a presentation. So guys, it was nice to meet everybody. Hopefully I'll see some of you at the party tomorrow. Okay? And I'll watch you guys online. Bye-bye everyone. Bye-bye.
Ela vai só comprar uma aguinha essa vez. Foi você que fez.
So just apply the slide here, and then I tell you to.
Where's the hotel?
And we have to open there as well. Just a minute.
Gustavo, you do it and then you get something to drink and you.
Okay.
I'm sorry for you. Fernando, manda pouco pra cá.
Vou fazer o drink lá também.
Tá bom.
Essential phrasal verbs.
No, that is George. This is pousado.
Pousado. Let's open here again.
Phrasal verbs.
Almost the same.
Someone else who loves phrasal verbs.
That's really.
That's still.
That's good to
You
know.
Okay.
You might be the only one.
So we have two links, right?
First one.
The first one is about the
hotel.
PM, yes. This.
Delightful study.
Let's just make a test and apply another presentation here. Now we have to put there. And to do that, we have WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Keep the same.
Game over, that's what you mean.
Replacing the party.
So receptive, John's cake.
Bigger people.
This one, I'm gonna have an Irish girl come to my house. She's gonna stay there for like a week.
Do you know what? Lillian was married to an Irish guy.
Great.
So she knows everything about She's quite
Irish, don't
Tell her, she's gonna laugh a lot.
And like after she's coming, I'm going to Europe to do the same thing.
No, not in mine. It's not mine.
Achei usando assim.
Imagina você. Você faz tudo.
I can't really wait there.
I can't stand much because you
Do one more stuff for
so everybody goes to the large group, but Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And then only English. It's a very good way of learning English. Okay? I will just 1 second.
Okay. Oh wait. I think I already moved. Yeah. Você apresentou. Eu não lembro o nome deles, não lembro bastante. Maybe just the phone will remind you. Yeah. But I'm quite sure that I already did there. Nice. The guy was here, he picked up said, no, Peter, said he already followed us in Instagram like for more than a year.
You already here. Leaving presentations in jail in Spanish.
I told him it's time to visit us, right? Quem está assistindo está vendo os slides ou está me vendo?
Ou tá me vendo? Tem os dois, né? Só que às vezes eu alterno. Às vezes eu dou foco em você, e às vezes. Eu vou fazendo essa. Agora tá full screen em você, né?
Hello everybody, thank you for the opportunity. I'm very happy to hear from the other speakers that most of us here love the countryside, right? So I'm here to present my farm hotel. I am one of the owners of Itatiba Farm Hotel. We are located in Tibagi, Paraná, 2 hours and a half from Curitiba by car, right? And we have an exclusive access to Canyon Guartelá. Canyon Guartelá is the longest canyon in Brazil and one of the longest of the world. It goes for more than 30 kilometers long. So it's very beautiful to see the forest, the arenites, sandstones, the rocky walls, and the waterfalls. So Itaitiba means, Ita means rock, I means water, and Tiba means lots of. It's Tupi Guarani. So we have an ecological reserve aside of on the canyon side, and we have more lots of waterfalls and rocky sculptures and natural sculptures there. So this is the name of the ecological reserve and the hotel. So okay. This is the structure of the hotel. It is 20 kilometers far from the ecological reserve. We call it Aldeia dos Pioneiros. Okay. We have warm swimming pool in the inside, so some people like the waterfalls with cold water. Some people like the pool because of the warm water. And we have a restaurant, a fantastic restaurant. We have now a new chef, right? Cuisine, and a new menu with lots of new opportunities to taste the simple tastes of the countryside and the more sophisticated tastes
that the chef brought to us. So we are in the middle of a huge forest. It is not the ecological reserve, but it's preserved as a legal reserve, we call it in Brazil. Yes, there was forest on now we have the hotel, but we didn't cut any trees, okay, to build a hotel there. Actually, in 1963, we had a huge fire in all the state of Paraná, and it got to us unfortunately from the other side of the road. Here we have BR 153 road, so got from the other side, and we lost several uh, fantastic huge pine trees that year. But 40 years later, we had nothing but fern and some trees that survived. So those trees that survived now are decorating our hotel gardens, and the the hotel was built in this. We say it's a God gift, right? To us, and we are retributing that using the hotel to do some ecological education and so on. So the last speaker was talking about purpose, and our purpose is to show people that preserving the nature is worth it, okay, and educate people to spread this message, okay. Nowadays, it is a privilege to have a place like this, to have a horseback riding, or diving on a cold waterfall. Okay, so it's really a blast to have this opportunity to bring this fantastic place to you this night, tonight. And so we have horseback riding, right? Um, we have the waterfalls. This year, this photo was took in a year that we hadn't have much rain. Okay, so we have nowadays after the rains, much more water flowing in the on the waterfalls. But it's still beautiful, right? With the rocks exposed. So I have here a little 1 minute movie, okay, showing some of the waterfalls of the ecological reserve.
There's no sound there.
Just the music. Instrumental music only. Nowadays we have more water than that. This is the open to bath. Okay. Was not accessed by tourists. So in Itaijiba, we are not only working for the value of nature, but to the value of history. So we want to show people how was life back
in 100 years. Okay, this is the main used to be right the main house of the farm. It is a wood made house, and there are like the bedroom, the room, and the kitchen, all with the ancient objects that we had back in the days. And here we have Recanto Paleontológico. It's a part of our house of memories that brings the history of nature. So we have fossils, true fossils, and copies, right, from all over the world. We have the minerals and rocks too from all over the world. And in Taitiba, we're not supposed to watch nature, watch history. We're supposed to live history and nature. So we get this is one of the activities we do. In this experience, we go 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we go horseback riding through the forest, and at the edge of the forest, we see the Mar de Morros. It's the name of the view we have in Campos Gerais. Okay, it's very beautiful. It really reminds us of a sea, but it's only land. And we go to this little wooden construction here, and we taste the café tropeiro. It's the coffee, but in the days of the tropeirismo, okay, they didn't have the strain to do the coffee, so they use another technology. Let's call it this. And okay, they boiled the water, took off the fire, put the powder into the water, and then took a red hot coal from the oven and put it into the water. And there comes the show, you know, the heat makes lots of steam and noise, and makes a reaction that puts all the powder to the bottom of the cup. So when you try the coffee, that it goes like only water, only the coffee, and the powder sticks onto the bottom of the cup. So it's a very nice, very interesting experience. I already talked about the restaurant. This is our our breakfast. Um, the interesting part is that almost everything is made in the farm. Okay, we produce our honey, we produce our marmalades, we produce most of the fruits, of course, of the season only, right? The juices, the yogurt, the milk, cakes, and bread, everything produced here. There. But of course, the wheat is not ours, okay? But we produce in our kitchen the breads and cakes. So we have some farm products here you can take home. The marmalades, goiabada, pessegada, and cachaça, sugarcane. We
we buy cachaça from Luis Alves, okay, and we flavor it with our products from the farm. So we have like bunka. Sorry. You know? Mexerica. Tangerine. And we have uvaia, we have araçá, jabuticaba, and so on. And there's lots of flavors, different flavors. You can see the different color of the bottle, right? So Itaitiba wants to be ever more sustainable, okay? And we're not only engaged with the history and the past, we are to engage with the future. So in 2020, we made our first photovoltaic plant, okay? Of course, the canyon is gorgeous. This is in the winter. You can imagine how it is in spring, right? So we have lots of weddings going on there. And in April of this year, we appeared on Plug. Maybe some of you have seen us on the program. This is Pedra da Proa. It's a arenite, well, a big one, and its name is due to the view from under it, from beneath it. Okay, it looks like a ship, but in different angles you can see like a crocodile, the eyes,
Yeah, I would say crocodile.
and maybe a head with a head, the face here and the nose and everything. But it depends on the angle. So I hope to see you soon and come visit us. And it would be very nice to make someday a meeting like this in Itaitiba, in the hotel. Thank you very much. May I start the next one? Or you want to change the speaker and then go back? What do you think?
Would you like to do yours and then do this song?
Is it mine now?
Yeah, if it's okay, you can do
15 minutes. 15
Yeah.
minutes, I think.
Sorry?
I think.
You can
Can you
do
change
the
it?
session.
Thanks. So,
In the meanwhile, distributing a voucher for the
oh, I have some flyers here. Thank you very much. I have plenty, okay? We are. Some of them will be exceeded. I have a number of people here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I don't know in winter. Like,
In the winter, you get 27 degrees.
Really?
Yeah. We had 27, what was it, last week?
But then you have 2 degrees in the night. No, but I mean, what can you do in winter?
Winter?
Yeah.
We have fire.
Fireplace.
We have teas, coffees, and one special like hot chocolate. It's amazing.
Big hot.
Big hot. Warm pool, swimming pool.
It's warm, yeah.
Sauna. Summer. What else? And when we are in the winter, we do pedra da proas trekking. Okay. When we are another one, but this is the main one. When we are in the summer, we do galinha choca. When we have a waterfall and we can take a brief dive there, and it's more a summer trekking road. So there's a lot to do. Lots of activities.
And for events, do you have like rooms,
Yes.
big rooms, small rooms for each?
We have two rooms for corporative events.
But only big rooms for big groups.
No, one of them is to 35 people,
okay.
And the other one is it's 100. The capacity is 100 people, so it's big enough, but it's not that big.
And when you say like 35 or 100, you say like in auditorium or sitting in rows. Okay, yeah.
Have you got a drink?
And lots of
I asked him for a drink. The first one.
Lots of plans to make inside activities, right? So we're doing lots of events focused on emotional intelligence and so on. You know, like coaching and things like that.
That you didn't tell why you were specialized in neuroscience or something.
Yeah, that's the point. I am an enthusiast of human nature and nature itself. So I studied forest engineering, and then I studied neuroscience. And I specialized in neuroscience and behavior. I did a lot of studying by myself on yoga and spirituality, true spirituality, religions, some of them, and I am fascinated by that integrated view you can achieve when we study more than one discipline. So we call it like transdiscipline. I don't know if that's a word a word in English, but that's a word in Portuguese. Transdisciplina. So the great geniuses of the human society and history were able to go from one discipline to the other with making solid bridges between them. And this is an important ability for today because everything in university, everything in enterprises and corporations is very satirized, very split up, and that's not good for anybody because when you search for money and forget that you have an impact on society and in the environment, you're not doing good money. You're like destroying something to make money. So you have to understand psychology, biology, the ecosystems, you know, to make a good acting in this scene. So we have, okay, I have a problem in my corporation. I have a stubborn funcionário, colaborador, employee. Thanks. A stubborn employee. Thank you very much. So the disciplinary thinking will say, okay, give him something to go for. Like, okay, if you do that, if you reach that result, you get money, an example. Or you will say, okay, if you don't get to the point, if you don't do what I'm telling you to do and do it well, you're fired. Okay? But an integrated view would remind us that this guy has psychology, individual psychology, has a family, has his problems, okay, has some brain engineering inside that are workable with, so you can get him what he wants by understanding how he works, you know, and you may then take from him what he is able to give you, and not only like, okay, you give me what I want or you're fired. You give me, you know, this is not a human view. It's like a robotic and cold view of the enterprise, right? So when you study neuroscience, you study yourself, and when you study yourself, you study everything you do, because any subject that comes to your hands will pass through the filters of your mind, right? If you don't understand how your mind works, you will always see something that isn't right there. It isn't really there, you know. So it is very important for people to understand psychology, neuroscience, and everything else in a simple way, but just a little bit to not being blinded by our passions and our fears, and at the same time not being manipulated by the ones that understand how you work. Okay? If you don't understand how you work, there are some people there, like Coke marketers, you know, that understand how you work and will make you do what they want without you noticing it. So it's a really cruel world if you don't understand nothing about yourself.
Because the idea is certainly brilliant, but do you truly believe this is going to be something achieved, let's say, on a short-term basis? Because what I see is it's definitely something extremely necessary, because the whole world is sick, seriously sick, especially mentally and psychologically sick. But it seems to me that regardless the importance of the initiative or of the purpose itself, considering Alison just mentioned purposes, it's it's still not very easy for everybody.
It will never be easy. It will never be easy.
But if you see my point,
yeah.
Okay, of course it's very poetic, very bright, very beautiful, but I find it difficult to understand or to believe enterprises, for example.
Hard to imagine. You find it hard to imagine it happening.
Enterprises putting these ideas into practice.
Yeah.
You see, really caring about how to explore the best profile of an employee, or even if we say, for example, of a student. Okay, of course, it's totally different. But for instance, one thing is to teach someone that is in principle language acquired. You do it very easily. But if you run into someone that is resistant to learning, that usually we say, oh no, he's not going to learn, or it needs a lot of love and a lot of devotion for you to think of everybody as an independent universe and worth being admired.
Yeah, and lots of study, right? Because you will only like attract the attention of someone that is not putting himself available to learn something new. That is very common. If you understand his world, yeah.
Of course,
that
this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
everybody talks about empathy nowadays, and then it became a very fashion word. Okay, it seems that people learn gratitude, resilience, and empathy, and then if you don't mention these three words, you're out of the game. But to really mean them and to really put them in practice, I think is not only a challenge, but difficult to achieve. For example, you may create or have this reality, let's say, as far as Itaichiba business is concerned. Okay, but if life is not only Itaichiba, if you see my point. And how do you believe this ideal way of handling people and their needs and their fears and their expectations can be achieved?
First of all, you said the word is sick, right? But I can't tell you one day in the whole history of life itself that humanity or nature wasn't sick. When we used to have less anxiety, we had more problems with bacteria and worms, for example. So the kind of sickness changes a little bit, and we will always look at our time and space, okay, and we'll see the problem because the problem will be there forever.
Okay.
We will have some periods of time that are more healthy in terms, but never total health and never total sickness, because nature works
in a balanced way.
Works in a balanced way without us noticing it. This is our subconscious mind telling us what to do, and we think we're free, but we're not. We're much more alike the animals than we would like to admit to ourselves. Okay, so your brain is totally an animal brain, and your humanity is totally animal too. But we think we are different. We think we are superior, and we're not. Because we don't understand animals yet.
By the way, talk about neuroscience. There's a very interesting book that talks about how revolutionary studies concerning neuroscience have come to be. And one of the arguments they use is that if you talk about animals, for example, a group of apes, let's say something makes one of them angry. The reaction is totally expected, and all apes will react that way. But when it comes to humans, you never really know how people react to the same kind of stimuli. So something may make Isa extremely angry and mean nothing to me, or vice versa. Do you believe neuroscientists are now much more prepared to deal with these differences?
The point is, you got a point, a very important point for my answer to your first question. We
are less predictable than animals because we have a greater capability, a greater ability of auto management. Okay. So animals don't have that much ability with their own impulses.
To
So
self-regulate.
sorry.
Like to self-regulate.
Yeah. We regulate our impulses much better and much more intensely and frequently. Actually, we're always doing it, right? Than animals, and this is too complex to get into, but it's an information, and that is actually the key to see the dream come true. Okay, because people will look to the other one, the other human being, with human eyes when he gets the when he's sophisticated, okay, his capability of auto management. So you are always auto managing, okay, but we don't know how to do that. We do this automatically. When you understand how your brain works, how your body works, how your mind works, okay, and say, okay, I can do the best with it, playing the game that way and not that way, that is automatic, okay, then you can do the best with yourself, and you naturally want to do take the best take of the others, okay, so not in the sense of exploring the others, but in the sense of making them flourish.
A self mirror would help you identify the next.
You see others' difficulties, and you say, okay, I know how to deal with that. This is not easy, but it's possible. Okay, and this is the medicine, I think, to our current social illness. Okay, because it's hard to believe that everybody will study a lot of lots of different disciplines. Okay, this is hard to believe, but uh, everybody has the seed of good auto management planted into their brains, their hearts, and their bodies. Okay, and children can do a good job in that way, and an elder too, também too. So it is something that the traditional religions, Christianism, the yoga and Hinduism and Buddhism, mainly Buddhism, take into the top, take it to the top, very frequently, and they did it like thousands of years ago.
Okay.
You don't need neuroscience to do that, and neuroscience is actually certifying, confirming the elders and the traditions truths that we already knew. Okay, so there are a lot of neuroscientists and psychologists that study with Dalai Lama, for example, because Dalai Lama understands human nature and human mind better than them. So you don't need actual science.
I see your point.
It is important, okay? It is important because it brings hard fundamentals.
It's going to standardize the studies, otherwise it's going to be miscellaneous and
when Buddhists say, okay, anger is the worst poison you have inside yourself. Everybody looks at it, and some will say, okay, I see that, and some others say, okay, I don't see that. I think it's exaggerating, okay, like hippie thing. And will not use that knowledge. But when neuroscientists come and say, okay, when you're angry, you get all those problems in your brain, your mind, your
It
knowledge,
somehow
your organs.
certifies the
Everybody say, okay, I have to manage my anger. And not repressing it, but managing it. Okay? So it's a long conversation, and I think I have
But I would suggest for me it's much more interesting to talk about that we sit around the table and just have a conversation, because this is a topic that really intrigues me, and there is just a kind of
we can
going on here.
We can do it.
We could sit around the table. That's your suggestion.
Yeah,
we go to Itaitiva.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Itaitiva, and we gotta talk about nature and human nature. This subject here is mind blowing.
This cup is just an apple. Let me take a bucket.
So then the speech about neuroscience will be in Itaitiva.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a possibility. We can. Okay. We can talk about that forever. Okay. And I will show you my newest project here. Then you can go into it and take a little bite of that subject, because it's very interesting and very profound conversation.
May I just check, Carlos, how long you're going to take? I just wanted to leave, but it's interesting as well. So just checking before checking out.
So,
what time is it?
Train at 10:20, so 25.
Okay. In Itaitiva, we are innovating in lots of ways. Okay, we have the photovoltaic plant. We have a search for a manager and a chef that were out of town, so from our town. So things that we didn't do before any time, and now we're getting some new adventures to get things done, okay? In the best way, of course. And one of those new techniques we're using is astrology, but not the astrology that is like based on daily horoscope, No, not that. This is not astrology. This is popular. I don't know what the name of that. This is horoscope. This is another thing. Okay, daily horoscope is not astrology. So I want to ask you: do you think you know astrology? Do you know what astrology is? Do you know what astrology can do for you? Most of you, for sure, don't. So imagine that life itself on Earth has evolved for billions of years, okay? Watching those astronomical movements repeating themselves again and again and again and again. Like this. Okay, night and day, and night and day again, night and day. Doesn't change, okay? It doesn't change. But the repetition was held on for so long that we started to create some memory mechanisms, okay, that repeated the cycles even when the light of the sun wasn't visible to us. For example, if you go to a city with artificial light, okay, you still will feel drowsy at night. You still will still have hunger every day at lunchtime, more or less. So approximately. So one of those examples, of course, there are many and many. One of those examples is the circadian cycle. Okay, this is a mechanism of memory. We are memorying, like recording the astronomical movements, like the rotation of the Earth, into our biology. Okay. Um, of course, the effect, the astronomical or astrological effect of the sun onto life is very clear. It's very obvious. Okay, the moon is too obvious because there are some popular studies like criminality varies with moon phases. Okay, and people give birth when the phase of the moon changes and so on. So there are some studies, interesting studies, concerning the movements of the moon and the tides and the migration of the species and so on. And that is something we see happening, but we don't understand fully. Okay. Okay, and what about the other planets, right? Mars, Venus, Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is very far away from us, but he's so large and so heavy that his gravity makes tide here on Earth too. Okay, the tides of the moon are like 1 meter high. Okay, the ocean goes 1 meter higher. Okay, the tides of Jupiter are like 30 centimeters high. It's very significant, but it's not like something we see every day, and we don't know which star is Jupiter, so it's not something that is so close to us. Well, this is an application that is not common at all, but this is what happens when you bring astrology and the scientific method together. Okay, and if we think about it, the great astrologers of the history were two great geniuses of other areas, like Ptolemaeus, Galileo, Kepler. Okay, even Fernando Pessoa was an astrologer. A few people know that. So um, when we apply the scientific method and using the knowledge, the ancient knowledge of astrology, we choose the right planets. There is a technique for that. I will not explain that here for a reason, for the time, right? And you correlate that with the right phenomenon. You get an explanation of something that was found to be random. Science thinks the waves of pandemics are random, okay, but they're not. Okay, there are variables, variables, much variance, much variables, and so it's so complex that it's hard to find a model, okay, but we are not looking to all the possibilities. And those cycles that we have here, and we have in so many other phenomena that we don't understand, but we see there is some pattern there, okay? Frequently are correlated with the planets, planetary movements. So we have here the red and the green indicating the moments of more substantial effect. Okay, let's see like this, the more visible effect of those planets. Mars and Neptune getting certain aspects on sky and the conjunction, and indicating the beginning of the pandemics, the second wave of the cases in June 2020. This one here, in the end of the year 2020, was indicated by other methods, but I won't need them to show my point. Okay. Then the fourth wave, April 21. This is a distortion of the image. Okay, it's a little bit to the left here. In August and September 21, the fifth wave, and the sixth wave in December 2021. Okay, what's the very interesting point here? When we have here in December uh, um, an indicator of third wave, okay, on Earth, that is the commerce going up, open again, lockdown breaking, the Christmas party, New Year celebrations, okay, here. So it's a earthly passivo. It's an earthly indicator that we would have uh, more cases happening that period. Okay, we have one of the ways, but when we have again in the same period of the year, okay, the land, the earthly indicators working together with the astrological indicators, remembering that here we have other methods, but we won't talk about them, okay? But we have in this method the astrological indicator here and the land indication, earthly indicator. We have the biggest wave so far, okay? This one is smaller than those two, but this one with two indicators, two different natured indicators, they sum up and build the greatest wave so far. Fortunately, here we didn't have more that much. We didn't have that much, that many hard cases, severe cases happening. Thank God. So things start to get interesting, right? Okay, we have some coincidence on nature that are hard to understand and hard to explain. Like, I don't think you noticed it. I don't think everyone here studies history, but if you look backwards some centuries, okay, look back some centuries, you see, yeah, oh nice, you see that the greatest wars are always a side of a great pandemics. Okay, this is obvious for some. Okay, I have heard people saying that okay because of the battlefield, okay, the health conditions there, and it was like a booster of a pandemic. So maybe that was there was a causal, cause and consequence. But COVID was nothing to do with that, and that theory goes to the ground. But we have an astrological indicator here that shows when 2020 here, COVID and Ukraine, and 1981 HIV/AIDS and the war of
Iran, Iraq, okay, and terrorism and etc. Spanish flu in 1914, and World War One, and the Black Death in 1349, and Byzantine Genoese War. All of them, both together, a pandemic and a great war, an international war in terms of effect, right? And always together with the same, exactly same astrological indicator. Okay? So how can I use that information for to make a gain, make a profit of it, right? My teacher, Carlos Fini, his name, was telling us that in 2020, in March of 2020, we would have a stock market crash. Okay, he started to present it to the public in 2011, 9 years before that happened. So this is the only technique available, as far as I know, that is capable of making such a prediction with such an anticipation. Okay? We have here in March 2020 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conjunctions. 6. This is rare. It's a rare coincidence, okay? And this reminds me that actually my brother said that. This reminds me that movie Hercules, Disney. Okay, when the planets align, the Titans will be released from the underground realm, and this will be the end of the world, right? Fortunately, we had Hercules by our side. So when we had 6 conjunctions, this is really an ancient belief, okay? When all the planets align, it's the end of the world. It's not really like this. We don't believe that anymore as astrologers, okay? But it's now a bit easier to understand that belief because we had only 4 planets align and we have in 2020. So we can imagine what would happen if we had like lots of them aligned, right? So, but it is much rarer than that. So take a look at these 6 conjunctions, right? One way down at once. This is Ibovespa, okay? The main indicator of stocks market in Brazil. One way down, okay? 6 conjunctions. 3 of them goes out simultaneously, okay? Price starts to go up, okay? The other 3 of them starts to get weaker and weaker, okay? It goes up and up, it gets a peak, and then we get this red fellow here that means recession, okay? Still counting 2022, okay? And we have a bear trend, a downtrend here. Mild if you compare to the 6 conjunction effect, right? This is important to see. This is not only COVID that caused this. This is the fear. Okay, everything will fall, everything will get destroyed by COVID. Okay, this fear that did that's not the virus itself. Okay, and so I'm talking about this movement here in 1 month. So thanks to my teacher, I was able to sell stocks here and buy here. Astrology works and is profitable, very profitable, okay? If you get the price of 2018 and the price of Ibovespa. Not you don't need to choose a stock. Just let's get the index here because it's much more much simpler. Okay, 2008 until January 2020, you don't need to get the first buy and the perfect buy and perfect sell. Okay, you get like 70% in 2 years. 2 years, 1 year and a half. 2 years. Okay, if you sell that here, okay, you buy it here and in 8 months, I think, you get the 70% again. So it's like 150% only with the index Ibovespa without hiring an economist to choose the stocks for you and nothing complex like that. Okay? So if someone buys in 2018 and holds it, he will get the 70% here when we're getting 150%. Okay, so it's extremely useful information. So JP Morgan, one of the great bankers of our times, said to the public, millionaires don't need astrologers, billionaires do. So, one of the great bankers of our time is telling us that okay, astrology works, and if you're not really serious with your investments, you don't need it. Okay, you don't need them. So, this is my contact. And for more information about my new project, is a Telegram and WhatsApp group to get in this knowledge of astrology, neuroscience, and administration of corporative organization. Okay, please get to carlosramos.com. You had some nice information in the site and in the groups. Thank you very much.
You have multiple businesses, I see. That
Yes.
I know. We have to decide on something. If we either do a second meeting next Friday, to continue doing other presentation, because we have more than 5. Samuel would not, yes, George, Lisa, and Lillian. So I was thinking of doing a second part. What do you say, George? Would you like to record now? And it's up to you.
What will you talk about, Lisa?
Lisa has a very important thing to talk about.
Yes,
It's
your
called
topic is about Australia.
Australia and the crowdfunding. Yes. She has a crowdfunding project. So we can invite you guys for Friday again.
From next Friday.
Next Friday. Crowdfunding is when you create a platform, you can use a platform and you ask for money to help you with a project. She's going to Australia and she has created a crowdfunding to help her to go. And it's working. So how to do that? It's a nice story and I think we have to hear that. And George has the...
I tried it, it doesn't work.
It worked for you? Wow, I know people who are very successful.
I needed 5,000 and I got 20 bucks.
20
Who's my brother?
What was the project?
I needed help to do my dog's surgery.
Your dog's surgery?
And it happened, but it happened with a little bit of hard time for us because we were not expecting to pay 5,000 for surgery like that, right?
Was it okay? Was it successful?
Yes.
Oh, great.
He had like don't know the word for that. When the back legs do like this.
Yes, I've seen that. We
And-
don't know the name, do you know? They have-
Bolect.
Okay, I think that's it. And one of them was very was much more bold than the other. We did this like we put a prosthetics. Prosthetic. Thanks. And now he's a normal dog. He just like do like this to walk.
Is he a retriever?
Sorry.
Is he a retriever?
No, it's Pastor Marijuana. He's big too.
No, it's just because some breeds are likely to have these problems. And I think the
So
retrievers
guys,
are.
Lorenzo, we're gonna meet again next Friday.
Thank you so much for the
You are
invitation.
welcome.
It's
And you are
nice.
invited